on the golden plains of Africa. Where darkness merges with tall grass, every movement could be a hunt or a battle. The lion crouches, muscles coiled, a power of instinct and muscle waiting to be unleashed. This is not just a hunt, it is a kingdom where each day tests strength, strategy, survival. Welcome to the Savanna, a land of claws and conflict. The lion is not only strong, it is built to conquer. Males can weigh over 500 pounds and stretch more than 10 feet. Their thick, majestic manes act as both armor and a symbol of dominance, protecting the neck in clashes, signaling power across the land. Though sleeker, the females are equally strong, the orchestrators of every hunt. With retractable claws, razor-sharp canines, and a crushing bite. Exceeding 650 pounds per square inch, the lion is built to bring down even the most formidable prey. But brute strength is not enough here. Teamwork is the ultimate weapon. Unlike most big cats, lions thrive in complex social structures. A pride is a tightly bonded unit, usually made up of related females, their cubs, and 1 to 3 dominant males. In this hierarchy, every lion has a role. The males defend the pride and secure their territory, while the females are the hunters and the primary caretakers of the young. This system is not just social, it is survival. It forms the foundation of their greatest strength. Cooperation, every hunt begins long before the chase. Lions watch, they wait, calculate, they target large herbivores, zebras, buffalo, wildebeests, even young hippos. These animals offer enough food to sustain the pride. But they are not easily brought. It is a high-risk, high-reward decision, because in the savannah, even the strongest prey can fight back. Choosing prey is a strategy. Lions look for weakness, a limping leg, a moment of distraction, a young animal that strays too far. Once a target is chosen, the pride moves with eerie silence. Each lion knows its position. They approach from downwind. They use cover. They surround. One lion may provoke, while others flank and close in. Then, like a coiled spring, they strike. Lions can burst up to 35 miles per hour over short distances. In group hunts, precision and timing are everything. But for the lone hunter, every move must be perfect. There is no room for error. A successful takedown does not mean the battle is over. In fact, it may only be the beginning. Hyenas arrive early, noisy, persistent, and many. They harass and probe, hoping to drain the lion's will. And the greatest threat may not come from rivals, but from the prey itself. Buffalo can defend with sudden force. A charging bull can lift a Mother hippos protect their calves with relentless, unstoppable fury. Even a cornered warthog, desperate and underestimated, can inflict serious injury with a thrust of its tusks. These are the hidden costs of the hunt, the risks behind every roar. Because in this unforgiving land, power means nothing without survival. Even kings have challenges, and in the Savanna danger comes from every direction. Hyenas are not just scavengers, they are tactical opportunists. With intelligence rivaling that of primates, they use complex calls and social signals to coordinate attacks. In packs of 20 or more, they don't just chase, they encircle, surrounding a lion or a carcass. They test boundaries with mocking laughter and sudden charges. They gauge hesitation. They wait for exhaustion. What begins as a contest over meat becomes a battle of will and endurance. A lion may roar and hold its ground. but surrounded by relentless attackers, even the mighty ones. These encounters are not just fights for food, they are territorial duels, struggles for power, where rank and dominance are redefined with every clash. And though lions often win, the toll in wounds, in energy, in fear, slowly erodes their throne. Elusive and solitary, lions are masters of stealth, not confrontation. Though formidable hunters in their own right, leopards avoid direct conflict with lions whenever they can. Smaller in size, but remarkably agile, they rely on shadows and silence to hunt and survive. In the Savanna, the presence of a lion signals danger, not just for the hunt, but for life itself. When a lion enters their territory, leopards often retreat, vanishing into the bush or scaling trees with astonishing speed. To protect their kills, leopards drag prey high into the canopy, out of reach, lions and hyenas. It's a signature move, a strategy honed by generations of instinct. For females with cubs, the threat is even greater. A chance encounter with a lion can mean lost food, or worse, the loss of a cub. Cubs are hidden carefully in thickets or on rocky ledges, and mothers remain constantly. Alert, the conflict between lion and leopard is rarely seen, but deeply felt. It's not a war of battles, but of territory and survival. One rules by power and presence. The other endures through silence and skill. The river appears calm, but beneath its surface lurks a primal danger. Crocodiles, silent, killers of the waterways, camouflaged in mud and patience. With a bite force exceeding 3,700 psi, more than 5 times that of a lion, they can crush bone in seconds. When lions approach the water's edge, whether to drink or to cross, they enter the domain of another predator. One misstep, one careless moment, and a lion can vanish beneath the surface, caught in the crocodile's brutal spin. These encounters rarely last more than seconds, but their impact echoes through the pride. A reminder that even a king must bow to forces he cannot control. Lions may rule the land, but in the narrow realm between dust and water, the advantage shifts. Survival means more than hunting. It means standing your ground, even against your own kind. Male lions often clash for leadership. These duels are among the fiercest in the animal kingdom, driven by ambition and an instinct for legacy. The victor earns the right to breed and the duty to protect. But the cost of failure is steep. The loser is exiled, left to wander alone, facing injury, starvation, or attack from rivals, and scavengers for a lion. There are no second chances, only two outcomes: endurance or erasure. Lions may reign supreme. But every roar is earned. Every step forward is clawed from the earth. In the African savanna, strength must be proven again and again. This is nature's truth. You may wear the crown today, but tomorrow you must fight to keep it. Thank you for joining us to explore the hidden struggles behind the lion's throne. If you enjoyed this documentary and want more journeys into the wild, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And tell us in the comments which predator we should explore next. We'll see you in the next episode of Wild Raw.
Silence, I found it, was not a moment of rest. The predator had appeared. Tiny creatures, from possums and agoutis to white-faced capuchins, entered a state of panic. The jaguar, the top predator of the cloud forest, moved like a ghost. Even the keenest eyes could hardly discern its shape. In the chaos of moonlight and the shadows cast by trees, their golden eyes shined brightly in the dark. Its scent spreads through the air, awakening the survival instinct of all beings within a mile's radius. Beneath their massive paws, everything can be crushed by a force no one wishes to confront. A second of hesitation, a moment of, is all the jaguar needs. A deadly bite to the neck ends the brief pursuit. Without a sound, the jaguar drags its prey into the basin. Dense branches once again conceal all traces of what happened. Other creatures, those lucky enough to escape, remain in a state of tension. The night is not over. The deadly silence and the jaguar's haunting presence are a reminder of the struggle for survival in the heart of nature. Dawn slowly breaks the darkness. The first rays of touch the high treetops. And the Central American cloud forest awakens with life. The mist dissolves, revealing a world full of vibrant color. The jaguar's shadow is in the past. Now the sky belongs to another creature. Assemble a legend of the cloud forest. Quetzal. With their wings spread, they soar across the sky, carrying with them the radiance of green emerald and bright red, like fire dancing among the clouds. And the Monteverde Cloud Forest Reserve, Costa Rica, where moss-covered branches and wildflowers thrive. The quetzal finds its home from southern Mexico to Panama. This unique species lives in forests high above 4,000 feet, where dense humidity and rich vegetation offer the perfect habitat for their survival. Quetzal rules the sky, but its flight is not just a symbol of freedom. This bird depends on wild avocado, especially the fruits of the para tree. These ancient trees, tall and powerful, stand like living sculptures. Trunks marked by time, canopies casting shelter across the forest floor. Their small fruits, juicy and nutrient-rich, are vital to life in the cloud forest. From birds to squirrels, many depend on them. The leaves drink moisture from the misty air. Their deep roots anchor soil, prevent erosion, and give the terrain strength. And when the fruit is ripe, it waits, not for the wind, but for a messenger. That messenger is Quetzal. Each time it takes flight, it carries the seeds of Parakia, tiny embryos of life, and drops them in distant places, where they germinate and give rise to new generations of trees. Thanks to this silent cycle, the forest renews itself over and over, preserving its boundless diversity. Under the shadow of the kiwa tree, a perfect rhythm is sustained. The forest breathes and grows, and harmony only nature can compose. Quetzal is a relic of the ancestors. A living connection between myth and wilderness, and Maya and Aztec culture. Quetzal was sacred, a gift from the gods. It was said, when it flies, it carries the spirit of the forest, bridging the human world with the divine. But beauty like this cannot be owned. No one may capture or tear its soul from the forest. Legend says. In times of human greed, Quetzal was hunted for its feathers. A god, enraged, cursed those who tried to possess it. Since then, when a Quetzal is captured, it falls silent, its wings though still, its spirit departs. If the jaguar rolls the earth with terror, then Quetzal rolls the sky with grace. Its bright feathers shine. Its senses stay sharp. A monarch who knows its strength. Wings are power. Awareness is everything. No crown needed. Just the wind. And the sky. As dew still clings to the leaves. And the forest air grows cool. A small but extraordinary being emerges. The hummingbird glides through the air, gracefully yet full of power, sparrow-sized. It flashes like light, as it flits among the bright bromeliad flowers. The cloud forest, with its high humidity and lush vegetation, is the perfect home for these tiny birds. From the colorful blossoms, every corner offers the sweet and vital nectar that hummingbirds need to survive. Bromeliads, with their unique shapes and vivid hues, attract not just hummingbirds, but form the heart of a complex ecosystem. Their long, thick leaves often collect rainwater, creating tiny natural pools. These microhabitats become a stage for life, where hummingbirds and countless other creatures interact in an intricate biological cycle. Unlike any other bird, the hummingbird possesses something extraordinary: the ability to hover mid-air and even fly backward. They are true artists of the sky, beating their wings up to 80 times per second. Such incredible power comes at a high energy cost, requiring a massive food intake. A hummingbird can consume nectar equal to half its body weight daily. To achieve this, it must visit between 1,000 and 2,000 flowers per day. Its long beak has evolved to match the shapes of various flowers, with bromeliads being one of its favorites. While feeding, pollen clings to its body. By flying to another flower, it enables pollination. Becoming a living bridge between plant species, their role as pollinators is essential for the survival of dozens of plant species and epiphytic flowers. According to a 2023 study by the National University of Costa Rica, hummingbirds contribute to the pollination of at least 30% of the plants in the cloud forest. Maintaining ecological balance and ensuring species regeneration from one generation to the next. Beneath the mist that blankets Central America's cloud forests, time seems to move more slowly. The two-tick creature appears. Utterly unique in nature. The three-toed and two-toed sloths, the slowest animals in the world, are hidden residents of the treetops. In the Monteverde cloud forest of Costa Rica, they are symbols of calm and adaptation. At elevations between 3,300 and 6,600 feet, where the air is fresh. And trees are covered in moss and lichen. The three-toed and two-toed sloths dwell in dense branches, with compact bodies weighing only 8 to 17 pounds, and modest lengths between 18 and 30 inches. They hang suspended, quietly evading predators on land. They survive not through speed or strength, but through perfect harmony with nature. That slow smile conceals a secret. A body that functions with astonishing precision, conserving energy almost impossibly well. Monteverde's cloud forest isn't just their home. It's the stage where these two silent artists illustrate the story of time. Slow yet eternal. The three-toed sloth, the embodiment of slowness, isn't lazy or incapable. It is a master of energy efficiency. In the realm of mammals, no other creature rivals its ability to live slowly but effectively. Its body operates like a calibrated machine, moving only at the necessary pace, yet with enough accuracy to survive harsh conditions. Its primary food, grain, juicy cecropia leaves, low in nutrients, and insufficient for most creatures. But to the sloth, each leaf is a true energy treasure, digested and absorbed drop by drop. Its slowness isn't a flaw. It's a perfect adaptation. Its fur doesn't just guard against insects or weather shifts. It hosts a living ecosystem. Algae grow within the fur, providing camouflage and natural compounds that protect the skin from infection in this humid forest. This slowness is not weakness, but a unique survival strategy. With a movement speed of only 0.15 miles per hour, it is nearly invisible to predators, like harpy eagles or jaguars. Even these formidable hunters struggle to detect a creature so still. So perfectly blended into the green shades and shadows of the forest. The two-toed sloth, compared to its three-toed cousin, shows several striking differences. Its fur is longer, denser, and tends to harbor more moss, making it seem like an extension of the tree it clings to. It is slightly faster, though still among the world's slowest animals. This speed only emerges when threatened, allowing it to reach safer branches. Its diet is more varied, including leaves, fruits, and even small insects. Three-toed sloths often hang from trees, with long curved claws up to 4 inches long. They may spend up to 20 hours a day sleeping or resting, conserving energy, while enjoying the canopy's heights. Physically slow in trees, they are excellent swimmers, crossing rivers or creeks with grace, using long arms to paddle smoothly. They often swim in search of new feeding grounds. Their metabolism is extremely slow. It can take up to 30 days to process a meal. They descend to the ground only once a week to defecate, a cautious act, when they are most vulnerable. Yet through mysterious instincts and natural camouflage, they usually manage to evade predators. The role of both three-toed and two-toed sloths in the cloud forest ecosystem is far greater than appearances suggest. The leaves they consume become part of the natural decomposition cycle. Through their feces, they return essential nutrients to the soil. Their moss-covered fur offers shelter for small creatures like moths and beetles. Nature, in its rhythms, always finds balance, and each species contributes to a broader, more diverse ecosystem. Sloths don't just survive. They represent a unique way of life in a fast-moving world. Their slow pace is a reminder that sometimes slowness is the key to integration and coexistence sustainably with nature. The cloud forest of Central America is not just a static landscape, but a constant symphony of life and death. It is an ecological paradise, shaped over millions of years of evolution. And the lower layers, where light filters through leaves, and the temperature grows warmer, a world of vital organisms thrives. Falling leaves form the foundation of natural decomposition, providing nutrients to the soil and feeding the entire forest. But here, life cannot exist without death. When a jaguar finishes its hunt, what remains of the prey becomes nourishment for insects and microbes. At the forest floor, these tiny creatures break down flesh, transforming it into nutrients that seep into the earth, feeding trees like the sappa and ficus, the silent giants that have guarded the cloud forest for centuries. But looking upward, everything changes. The upper layers, shrouded in thick mist, are a kingdom of light and color. The quetzal, with its emerald green wings and tail, soars through the clouds, displaying a beauty from another world. Not far off, the toucan, with its large multicolored beak, glides from branch to branch in search of ripe fruit. Each forest layer is its own mirror, yet none can survive without the others. Life and death in the cloud forest are not opposites, but are woven into an eternal cycle. This ecological web is deeply interconnected, where life in one layer sustains the existence of another. The cloud forest is not only home to animals and plants, but also a silent guardian for humanity. The horizontal rain, a hallmark of this ecosystem, draws water from the sky, filters it into the soil, and delivers vital fresh water to millions of local people. The cloud forest also regulates climate, stabilizing regional temperatures and softening the impacts of climate change. In the thick fog of Central America's cloud forests, nature seems to whisper its own story, a tale of millions of years, filled with mystery and wonder. But if we listen more closely, there is a warning in that whisper. The cloud forest, with its heavenly beauty and unique ecosystems, faces increasingly severe threats. The clouds that once shielded this paradise now sing thinner than ever. Their gentle edges are no longer a distant shadow, but an imminent threat. From above, the green canopy of the cloud forest, once stretched like an endless tapestry, now lies torn by roads and cleared fields. For agriculture, livestock, and urban development, These are among the main causes, according to the IPCC report of 2023. The global area of cloud forests has shrunk by an average of 8% annually over the past 2 decades. And Costa Rica, where Monteverde's cloud forest once covered more than 140 square miles, its expanse has diminished by over 30% since the early 1920s, and the consequences reach far beyond the loss of trees. Many species are losing their habitat. The quetzal, an iconic and vibrant symbol of the cloud forest, has seen its population decline by nearly 20% in the past 15 years due to the loss of wild avocado trees where it nests. The three-toed sloth is also losing its safe treetops where it hangs, leaving it more exposed to predators. A 2024 study by the University of Costa Rica revealed that around 20% of endemic species in the cloud forest have experienced alarming population declines. The glass frog, known for its translucent skin, faces a serious risk of extinction, as the small streams where it reproduces are drying up. As trees disappear, birds lose their nests, small animals lose their shelter, and ecological balance is disrupted. The cloud forest depends on cool temperatures and high humidity to thrive. However, rising global temperatures are pushing the mist layer, so characteristic of these ecosystems, to higher altitudes, beyond the reach of plants and animals living in lower zones. According to a 2023 report from a global organization, temperatures in cloud forest regions have risen an average of 1.5 degrees Celsius over the past 50 years. As a result, more than 40% of the moisture once retained by trees and fog is vanishing. Climate change is not only replacing the mist, but is also altering rainfall patterns. Dry seasons are becoming longer, causing severe impacts on species that depend on water, like bromeliads. In the past decade, the number of bromeliads has decreased by up to 25%, posing a direct threat to hummingbirds, tiny birds that depend on the nectar of these plants. Without nectar, hummingbirds are forced to compete with other birds and migrate to lower areas where conditions are less than ideal, resulting in higher mortality rates. A 2024 university study noted that for every degree increase in temperature, the growth potential of epiphytic plants drops by up to 25%, directly impacting the food sources of birds and insects. The cloud forest also faces uncontrolled resource exploitation. Valuable timber from trees like mahogany and ceiba is being harvested to meet demand from the furniture industry. In addition, the growing demand for land to plant commercial crops like coffee has transformed vast stretches of forest into large plantations. Over the past 30 years, approximately 15% of cloud forest area in Central America has been converted into farmland. Consequences include soil erosion and loss of water retention capacity. Rivers, once vital sources of fresh water for millions of local residents, have seen their flow reduced by up to 40% in the past decade. But it is not only humans who are affected. Capuchin monkeys, which depend on group living, are losing their feeding grounds, forced to abandon their natural environment. Facing increased stress and higher mortality within their troops. The combination of climate change and unregulated resource exploitation. Is creating a vicious cycle. As cloud forests disappear, biodiversity is declining at an alarming rate, disrupting the entire food chain and the ecological balance of the region. Species like the jaguar, quetzal, or the sloth are not only iconic symbols, but also essential components for the proper functioning of the ecosystem. With the shadow of each cloud forest layer, the complex ecosystem begins to collapse. The jaguar, sovereign of the forest, is also being displaced from its traditional territory. Its only option is to confront humans. Increasing conflict between wildlife and human communities. If this trend continues, by the end of this century, more than 60% of cloud forests could disappear. Hundreds of plant and animal species will go extinct, leaving an irreplaceable gap in the global ecosystem. Light pierces through the dense clouds of Monteverde, and a new story is being written, not one of loss or despair, but a psalm of hope and renewal, where the beauty of creation is being protected and reborn each day. Costa Rica, a small country with a deep commitment to nature, has become a global model for conservation. With every tree planted, every river kept clean, and every species rescued from the brink of extinction, its people are not just protecting nature, but fulfilling a sacred mission to care for and preserve the creation entrusted to them by God. Amid challenges and adversity, hope blossoms like new growth beneath the filtered light through the clouds. Costa Rica is a pioneer in creating reserves and national parks. Today, over 25% of its territory is protected. The Monteverde Cloud Forest Reserve is a symbol of this effort, attracting more than 70,000 visitors each year to explore the mystical beauty of the cloud forest. These reserves not only protect, but have created ecological corridors that connect fragmented parts of the forest. Thanks to this corridor system, the quetzal population has increased by over 15% in a decade, from 4,000 to around 4,600 individuals nationwide. Over the past 2 decades, Costa Rica has implemented one of the most successful reforestation programs in the world. Since 2000, more than 3 million trees have been planted in deforested areas. Including native species like ceiba and ficus. This program not only restores forest areas, but also creates habitat for endangered species. A notable example is the return of the howler monkey. According to a 2023 report from the International Union for Conservation of Nature, the howler monkey population in Monteverde has increased by 25% since reforested zones were completed, helping them move and feed more easily. In Costa Rica, conservation is not just the responsibility of scientists or the government, but also of local communities. Education programs in Monteverde have raised awareness of the importance of the cloud forest. One of the most inspiring stories comes from the community of Santa Elena, where farmers who once cleared forests to grow coffee have now converted parts of their land into forest regeneration areas. and participate in reforestation projects. In just 10 years, these former small forests have become sanctuaries for birds, such as toucans and hummingbirds, not seen in the area before. In the thick mist of Monteverde's cloud forest, a silent revolution is underway, not with the noise of machines, but with the power of modern technology. Invisible eyes observe every breath of the forest, thanks to strategically placed humidity and temperature sensors. Beneath the canopy, scientists can now detect the subtlest signals from nature. Through satellite data that passes through the clouds, they decode the forest's accelerating rhythm and act in time. As a result, wildfire risk in Monteverde has dropped by 30% in just one decade. But technology is not only saving trees, it also protects the life hidden beneath them. The legendary jaguar of the cloud forest has seen its population increase from 30 to 45 individuals over the past 15 years. Monteverde breathes more calmly. Technology is not just a tool, it is an extension of the forest guardians' embrace, helping them write a new chapter, one where nature and humanity join voices to steer away from the brink of extinction. Conservation efforts are not just numbers, they have the Quetzal song echoing through the clouds, the silhouette of the three-toed sloth, relying on regenerating branches, and fresh water continuing to flow through the streams. According to a 2023 report by Costa Rica's Ministry of Environment, the surface area of cloud forests in the country has increased by 15% in the past decade, bringing hope for long-term recovery. The cloud forest is not just an ecosystem, it is a story of life, regeneration, and those willing to change, to protect one of Earth's most precious treasures. And as light pierces through the clouds, the cloud forest remains resilient. Despite challenges, nature always finds a way to survive and thrive. The cloud forest is calling us. Its green leaves and creatures like the jaguar or the quetzal depend on the actions of each of us. Not just scientists, but you too. You can make a difference. Reduce plastic waste, limit overexploitation of resources, support conservation organizations, and raise awareness about protecting nature. These are actions you can start today. The journey through Monteverde's cloud forest is not just an adventure, it is an invitation to co-write the story of protecting the green heart of our planet. Share your thoughts in the comments. Every opinion, every reflection is like a seed that helps spread the message of conservation. For this magnificent natural treasure, don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel, and activate notifications, so you don't miss any more fascinating stories and adventures that inspire through the world's natural wonders. If you enjoy stories like this, learn more about Guatemala, the eighth paradise between volcanoes and jungles. Also, the refuge of the fiercest predators.